Do you know what a shill is? A shill is a person who stands up and talks for other people. Sadly, I watched a couple of shills hard at work on Tuesday night at the city council meeting. There are a couple council members whose names shall be, well, we'll just say they were from the 8th and 9th district. They were questioning the ability of the fire chief to retool his staffing for the paramedics. And the way that he wants to do it is controversial with the fire union, the firefighters union, because it would take 2 paramedics that are on an ambulance now, put 1 paramedic on an engine and 1 paramedic on an ambulance. It's a long and fairly complicated story, and you really kind of need to read the paper to see the whole thing. But the fact of the matter is, the firefighters are opposing this issue. And there were a good 25 or 30 of those great firefighters sitting in the city council chambers Tuesday night with their arms crossed, just like this, watching our city council members grill the fire chief. These city council members couldn't even come up with their own phrasing. They used exactly the same phrasing that Rex Pritchard, the union president, uses when he talks about the paramedic staffing issues. Now, again, it's a pretty complicated deal, and there's lots of arguments here, there, and everywhere. But the fact of the matter is, when it all gets down to it, the firefighters union is opposed to this plan because it's going to cut the amount of overtime firefighters get to work. That's because there'll be fewer firefighters assigned per shift. There'll be 5 EMTs, emergency medical technicians, assigned to ambulances where there used to be 5 paramedics or firefighters. They use the argument that this is going to hurt service, and that's just simply not the case, at least according to Dr. Shea, and he's the guy who runs the whole emergency medical services for Long Beach. What happens? Well, of course, these 2 council members are looking for union support. They're well known as union supporters, and they're well known as fighting for the people. All well and good. But they couldn't even come up with their own arguments. They had to say exactly what the firefighters union said and question that. And what's worse is the rest of the council just sat there and let them do it. It doesn't look to me like they've got the votes to stop this thing. It looks to me like the vote's going to end up being 6-3, maybe 5-4, but 6-3 more than likely. And yet we spent half an hour listening to these 2 shills speak for the fire union. I guess that's going to get them a few votes, but I kind of wonder if it's the best thing for the city. And that's what I have to say.